What is up, Blood Fam? Welcome back. It's another Saturday, and I'm available to do some foosball today. We have the number 2 ranked Indiana Hoosiers. Congratulations, highest rank in team history, going against this 3-4 UCLA Bruins team. And I think this UCLA Bruins team is a lot better than what their 3-4 record indicates. They had a coaching change, culture change, kind of got this thing built up a little bit. And I think today's game, hopefully Indiana rolls, but I think there's the possibilities of it being a solid contest. Just checking in, getting started early. Super excited. I've never been excited for Indiana football in 2 years running. It is so refreshing to know that even though basketball is right around the corner and that's my true love, I have this new culture, new style Indiana football program that really makes me excited to watch sports as a whole, especially from Indiana. And to see Indiana playing on the big noon games or the nightcap, the primetime games, is crazy. But we're going to go in here today against this UCLA team, and Fernando Mendoza is on a tear. I look for this game to be very conservative early. I look like especially on the defensive side, to kind of feel out what UCLA wants to do, just like that Michigan State game was last week. I don't think they want to give up the big play right away. I don't think they want to give them any kind of momentum until they can figure out how they want to attack in the second half. So look for a semi-respectable first half here. As we go into the second half, we will see how it turns out. Anybody that's new to the chat today, please like the channel, subscribe. If you're here on Facebook, do the same. Appreciate the support. Alex and I love you all. It has been a tough season for us to try to get everything put back together, but we're working on it. And when we have any opportunity to be here, we will. So getting ready for kickoff. Looks like it's within the next 4 to 5 minutes. Any comments from the chat going forward? I want to look over a few things to see anything else today. I watched this UCLA team beat Penn State, and the fire that they played with was, I gotta say, I was intrigued by it, because when teams have belief, they can accomplish almost anything. Crafty, what's up, brother? I did not see that email from you that I was looking for. Don't forget to put that out there. It's in the bloodlines@gmail.com. But I was really impressed with the new OC, which is the broadcaster's son, was able to help them drum up as far as offense. And that's another reason why I'm here today. I'm excited to see and I call him Imaliva, the quarterback from UCLA, but I'm excited to see if he can kind of get his numbers a little higher. No, please do. Make sure you include what your all-time go-to favorite sports team is, and then a mailing address. Got something that I've got worked up for you, sir. But all in all, being from Southern Indiana, the closest thing that we ever got to competitive college football is Notre Dame and Ohio State for the most part. Louisville had some years that was okay. UK, not so much. We're in an area that has been really starved for top-notch football, unless you look at Notre Dame and Ohio State. I mean, we see a lot of that around here, both of those jerseys. But this is the first time that this fan base has ever been this fired up about Indiana University football. And I got a lot of comments about basketball coming up, which will be here for that for sure, at least some of the games. The swagger and the way that these guys are playing, it's an older team. The transfer portal has been very good to Indiana. And I think they're going to, my goal is to see them in the Big Ten championship. I know they have bigger aspirations, but my goal is to see them playing Ohio State for the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. If they win the Big Ten, I'll be excited. Anything else will be icing on the cake. And this thing is getting ready to start. I'll tell you what, they're really bad about these kickoff times. I thought kickoff time was right at noon, and we would have very little time. Yeah, whatever it is, Crafty. Looking for baseball or football for the most part is what I was aiming towards. But I can come up with something for anything. You put in what you like, and I have a plan. If it's an individual, or if it is, if it's an individual, or if a team. It's so refreshing, I gotta say, to watch this, like to see these Hoosiers like this. It's a dream come true. My father's 83 years old, and he loves Indiana, and he's never seen this football team like this. One more win for Indiana, and I believe that it'll break the record for all-time wins in 2 seasons back-to-back. Fernando Mendoza, 23 touchdowns this year, tied for the most in FBS. He's been electric. You know, the best thing about this Indiana team is they don't make a lot of bad decisions. They don't make a lot of mistakes. And when they do, they reconcile them. After Mendoza threw that pick, he was absolutely on fire afterwards. He looks like he's going to be the way he's playing right now. And it's not so much for the uber athleticism. It's not so much for, a lot of the traits. It's for the fact that he doesn't typically make a lot of mistakes, and he's very sound with the ball. I don't want to use the term game manager because he really lets it rip, but he's done a very great job. Tim Skipper is the interim coach at UCLA, 3-1 under him. Nico Imaliva, and I'm probably saying that incorrectly, 9 TDs over his last 3 games. This team has been playing some inspired football, and it's a dangerous team for Indiana's hopes. And it's awful hard to be here at noon on a Saturday. It's a little early for me, but I'm glad I was home. And we're getting ready to kick off, and I love Sig's expressions on his face. He's just ready to go. He is 13-0 at Memorial Coliseum as the Indiana Hoosiers coach. And his confidence just rolls over into his players. Their team prep is amazing. He had a lot of praise for this UCLA team coming in, so which means that they are not taking these guys lightly. Excuse me. Don't want to have a letdown. How you doing, Miss Angie? Much love, my dear. Glad to see you today. It looks like going forward, no nightmares included. I should be able to be here for most of these games. It looks like Indiana will be kicking off to UCLA to get going. We will see the defense first. Number 2. And like I said just a few minutes ago, my main goal is I want to see this team play in the Big Ten championship undefeated against Ohio State. That's what I want to see. And it's a squibbler kick picked up at the 10. He's going to bring it out. He is going to be stopped at the 26-yard line as he is swarmed by the Indiana defense. And that is where we will begin today's game. Going through a regular season of the Big Ten, going undefeated is a huge accomplishment. The game at Penn State is going to be tough. The game playing Maryland is going to be super tough, I believe. And I believe today's game is going to be tough as well. Even though they beat them soundly last year at UCLA, I'm telling you, this is a different team that plays a lot differently than they did the first 3 games this season. And I'm going to mess his name up 100 times, but Imaliva is going in the gun as they start at the 27. They give him forward progress to there, back to pass, looking down the field, goes to let it rip, and he's going to be sacked. And that is going to be the first sack on the first play of the game today. Excuse me. He could not get it out of his hand. He tried to break free and run. He was super strong in that. It was going to be a 7-yard loss, but he got 5 yards back after being hit. And Jerry Neuheisel's calling plays has inspired this team. I love watching his dad. I think it's on CBS, showing, just so excited for his son. There's the snap, handoff, throws it, and it's picked off. Here goes Fisher. He's got it at the 10, the 5. That is a touchdown. Pick 6. Aiden Fisher jumped in the passing lane as the quarterback was being hit, and Indiana's defense gets them on the board first. What a breakdown, and this offensive line stood no chance. Fisher snuck up to the left side behind the tackle and just jumped the passing route. He was hiding behind the left tackle, and then he stepped out when he threw the ball, and it threw it right to him for an easy return for touchdown. Oh, my God, Angie. I would love to be there today, too. All right, less than a minute in, snaps up, kicks good. Indiana leads 7-0. Pick 6 by the defense, 2 complete pressures on the quarterback, and Aiden Fisher just kind of got lost behind the left tackle. And he watched the quarterback, and as soon as the quarterback went to make his move, he came out around there and he threw the ball right to him. Never saw him step in the passing lane. Heck yeah, what a way to start today. I got to say, this is a very good look for our defense. 2 quarterback pressures, 2 quarterback hits, 1 sack, and an interception to start this game. UCLA is going to have to establish something with the run game to call off these dogs. And this defensive front has been formidable. It was the main reason why the defensive front and the linebacking crew that we played so well against Oregon, just able to handle that big O-line and stop the run. So kudos to this defense getting ready to go back out for another, but I did not expect a pick 6 like that, and love seeing them make the young quarterback uncomfortable and make him make a mistake. I know I'm doing a basketball game this year, Angie, for sure. I wanted to try to go to the Louisville game, but them seats are outrageous. I really hope that they bring the same kind of energy to the basketball team this year. I know it's going to be a different look. We're going to see a lot. We're going to see a lot of shooting for basketball. So I know I'm doing basketball this year. And I'm going to try to do some football as well next year. But I am very excited to do basketball games again. I have so much fun with those. We are set to kick off again. The time delay is a kind of amazing because the kickoff has already happened. So keep that in mind, that my scoreboard is going to be a little bit ahead of me. So you can always cheat if you want to look up. Indiana's kickoff will be for the second time today. Here we go. Ball is kicked deep. It's going to be caught at 2 yards deep in the end zone, and he's going to bring it out. He didn't really want to, but he changed his mind. He gets out, and he is tackled at the 17-yard line. And I'm just going to guess here that they're going to start this with a run play as opposed to a pass. Of course, there's the handoff inside. He's going to rush forward for about 2 yards, and he is met by a wall at the 20-yard line, bringing up 2nd down and 8. Second down and 8. Snaps coming. There he is, back to pass. Not as much pressure this time. He unloads it, but it's thrown at his receiver's feet a little bit low. Looked like he was seeing ghosts out there. Had to get rid of it a little too early. Held on a little too tight when he let go. 3rd down and 8. I expect the crowd to be super loud here. UCLA needs to get out to the 28. They're in the gun. Back to pass. Looking down the field. Has time. Lets it rip over the middle. Incomplete. Just a little high and over his receiver. That's one of those balls that I call a kill ball, as the wide receiver is not getting up as he extends over the middle and gets hit pretty hard as that ball came flying in. Hope the young man is okay. Let's see how this plays out. There's the cut. Goes across. Throw is high. Was just trying to avoid the contact, and his head went into the hip of the defender. Brings up 4th down and 8, and we will have a punt. If you are new here to the channel today, whether you be here on Facebook or YouTube, smash the like and the follow. Feel free to comment anything that you would like. Also, if you'd like to look for an energy drink, scan the QR code at the top. Blood Fam is the code for 10% off from Adobe Energy. There is the kick. It's over wide to the right. He picks up the 32. He's at the 40. He gets to the 45, 50, 47-yard line. Nice return, but I think this one's coming back as I see a yellow marker in behind Brady. Another nice return for this young man who's been spectacular on punts. I'm guessing we're going to see a hold here somewhere. Legal block in the back, same difference. Let's see where it comes at. Right there. Number 18 got him at the 45-yard line, so they should start somewhere around the 35. And those are horrible penalties, and Cignetti hates them. Takes great field position and pushes them back. Fernando Mendoza, 272 yards per game, 23 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 73.5 completion percentage. That is top notch. It is 1st and 10. I'm going to see where they're starting at here on this drive now. Ball is all the way back to the 35. There goes play action. Gets it out to Surratt on the edge. He's tackled at the 39-yard line. It should be 2nd down and about 6. Make it 5. Surratt swits out in motion. Gets set, 2nd and 5. There's the snap. Quick pass to the outside. That's caught by number 80. He goes all across midfield into positive territory. Nice play on the quick out to the, I believe he's a tight end, Charlie Becker. Doesn't get too many of them catches with the other tight end and with that wide receiving crew. Indiana comes up to the line. Ball's at the 47, 1st and 10. Mendoza's in the gun. There's a snap, handoff to Hemby, and Hemby's going to be stopped for a very minimal gain, maybe a yard. Second down and 9. Mendoza surveys the field in the gun. Hemby comes back in behind to his left. There's a snap, play action, gets it out wide and overthrows Williams. A little bit hot on that pass, a little high and outside. Cooper Jr. And it was a wide receiver screen set up to the left that did not come out. 3rd and long here for Mendoza. Let's see how he handles it. You really got the foot on the gas here. You want to go. You want to take any belief this team has that they can win out of their sails early as you can. A defensive stop here would be huge for the Bruins. 3rd and 9. Here comes pressure, sending 4. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to dodge one tackle, but he's going to be no, he breaks it. He's inside the 40, down to the 30-yard line. Mendoza busts through a tackle. I thought he was down after about a 5-yard gain, and he gets the 1st down. What an excellent run. They just didn't wrap him up. Protects that ball, spun out of a tackle, and he's off to the races. Indiana's got the ball at the 30, back to pass, looking down the field. Pressure's coming, throws it away. I have noticed that this UCLA defensive front does get good penetration against this offensive line that's been pretty dang good. All right, 2nd down and 10. After the throwaway, Mendoza's back, looks, fires it, and it is picked off. That ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and just like that, UCLA has life. Those are so hard. I know, ugh. The ball tipped straight up in the air. That defensive line got good penetration, and if you can't get to the quarterback, you just reach up. Mendoza saves a pick 6 there with the fast-acting tackle. And just like that, that's why I said keeping your foot on the gas. You do not want to let off, give anybody hope that they can win. It's not the ideal result, but they obviously are crowding the center of the field. They're trying to block passing lanes against Mendoza. They're going to make him throw the ball differently if he wants to throw it. He's either going to have to throw out wide or he's going to have to move the pocket a little bit. But it looks like they're using that big DL to clog the middle to take away the run game and the passing game right there. So it's all a matter of adjustments. Play callers can see everything that we're seeing, and they will adjust, just like UCLA will adjust. That is only the 3rd interception for Mendoza this year. Same game plan, full game. I think that's the difference in the type of coaching that you get in high school as opposed to college. I think high school teams create a game plan, and they go in there and they try to execute one game plan. But if that team is ready for that game plan, they don't seem to have the wherewithal to switch it up and do something different. And like I said, so far today, UCLA has made a great attempt to clog the middle. They're trying to get penetration to the quarterback. They know Mendoza wants to stay in the pocket. That's why that run was so effective. He got outside and gone. So I think that's going to be the adjustment that has to be made. They're either going to have to start running the ball out wide or moving the pocket for those passing plays. If one team takes something away from you, you got to get them with what's available. Check downs. What does that bring? Go? Good to see you today. Happy Saturday. Indiana leads 7-0, but just had a tipped ball interception for UCLA. Great defensive call by the Bruins to clog the middle of the field. Ball got tipped up in the air and couldn't get it knocked to the ground. Mendoza did save a pick six with a nice tackle. If there is a consolation prize and a turnover. It is 1st and 10. Ball's at the 47. UCLA tries to run it. Nowhere to go. He's going to lose a yard on the play. That was an RPO, and the QB made the wrong choice. They say no gain, but it looks like a loss of 1 to me, but that's okay. They're calling it 2nd and 10. Whatever the case may be, the ball says they lost a yard, so that's all I care about. Back to pass, looking down the field. Pressure comes. Quarterback gets away. He's rolling out, fires it down the field, completed for a first down at the 44-yard line. That was the receiver that took the shot on the throw over the middle. That is number 1. Good to see he's okay. Rico Flores Jr. And there's Jerry Neuheisel calling plays for this UCLA. He's the acting OC. 1st and 10, ball's at the 44. Let's see if this defense can stiffen up here and get a stop. They got a 3-man front, back to pass, hands off, and that play is blown up. They only sent 3, and they got him for a 3-yard loss. Tucker comes straight through the middle and blasts the running back. I will not be available for that game tonight, Skater, but Michigan should have a nice day against Michigan State. And it's good to see you, my friend. Stuck in work. I know how that's like. I work weekends too. Lost a 3 on play, 2nd down and 13. Back to pass, looking down the field, has time, plenty of time. Here comes the pressure. He gets away. This time he's going to run it, and he takes a big shot, but he is going to get about a 7-yard gain. Looks like it's going to bring up 3rd and about 6, if I'm seeing it correctly. Bro, Alex and I, if you counted our hours per week total, it would blow your mind away that we even make it in here, ever. Miss Georgianne, how are you doing, my dear? Good to see you today. Kind of looking forward to your Pittsburgh game on Sunday, to be honest. Want to watch Green Bay and Pittsburgh go at it. I think that'll be interesting. 3rd and 7, back to pass. Here comes pressure up the middle. He gets hit as he lets it go. Ball's tipped up in the air, incomplete. Nice defensive play there on the outside by D'Angelo Pons. It is a name you will probably see in the NFL next year as a cover corner. He does a very nice job in man coverage, gets his hands in there, always looking back for the ball. The throw wasn't great, but he did a nice job to knock it away. All right, UCLA is going to be forced into a punt here. It's a fake. It's a reverse. Here he goes back the other way. And that's going to be incomplete. 4th and 7. Neuheisel rings up the fake punt, tries a little bit of trickery on a reverse there because they were so far into Indiana territory. But the defense was ready for it based on the shift of the offensive line. Did a nice job of keeping in between the ball and the receiver and made him throw an incomplete pass instead of taking a nice loss. JB, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're as excited as I am about Indiana sports in general. Going into basketball season, we're going to see a very different look. Haven't had a lot of chance to talk about it, but it's going to be a very different looking basketball team. My only fear is that they get into situations like the Iowa Hawkeyes do. Very free shooting. But I think DeVries' preach on defense and the players he went after, I don't think they're going to give up points like Iowa did. I'm at the airport waiting on a flight to the States. Well, good for you, JB. How cold is it up there in your neck of the woods? I bet it's a pretty nice day. I bet it's still nice in your area right now. Yeah, Skater, I think their quarterback is more than capable. I think he's battle tested, but I don't see enough game changers around him for Childs to make a difference, and he takes a lot of hits. I don't feel like the Michigan defense is going to give him very much today. So, looking at it from that side of it, I'm going to guess that Michigan's going to be about a 38, 40 something to 3-10, something like that. I would almost be willing to bet on it, except for the fact it's a rivalry game. And sometimes those games don't end up like you think. But God, Michigan's got to be a great cover bet today. Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, it's I would bet unless the spread's over 25, I'd bet it. I might. 1st and 10, ball is at the 41. There is the handoff, and there he breaks it through the middle. Kalon Black is at the 40, all the way down to the 38-yard line. And just like that, Indiana's back in scoring position because they got a secret weapon, a long kicker that can kick them long field goals if they have to have him. But that was a huge hole presented there by the offensive line, and Kalon Black just about broke it to the house. 1st and 10, ball is at the 39 where they spot it, back to pass, looking down the field. Mendoza lets it go deep, and he's got coverage out there, and that is EJ Williams, and that is greatly defended. A little bit of hand fighting, but nothing egregious. I know everybody looks for the penalty flags, but it was pretty fair. Pretty good defense there by Jordan, number 2 for UCLA. Second 10. Play action. No, there's a handoff, and he is going to get about 3 or 4 of that back. It's going to bring up third down and about 7. Big play here for the Hoosiers, just outside, just right at the edge of field goal range, back to pass, looking down the field. He's got time, rolls around, fires it, caught at the 10-yard line, inside the 7, down to the 5. E.J. Williams gives them a 1st and goal. Great patience there by Mendoza to let that play come in to open up. He steps up in the pocket and moves over to the right, and there he finds a wide open receiver in the middle of that. At that point, I'm going to call it a zone. It is a zone. First down and goal. Ball's at the 6. Cooper in motion, handoff. Breaks one tackle inside the 5, down to the 4. That was Roman Hemby. This 1-2 punch at running back's been very good. Mendoza surveys the field, 2nd and goal from the 4. There's the snap, handoff to Hemby. Hemby's going to be tackled, and he is down at the 1. Roman Hemby came over from the transfer portal. I believe he was the Maryland back. Fantastic season thus far. They're going to mark him just inside the 2. It's 3rd down and goal. Boy, I'd run a jet sweep to the right. Jet sweep to the right. Go to the right. They're overloaded left. They don't. Inside, pushes. I think he lunged in at the last second for a touchdown. I think he got in. Challenge it. Let's see. I think he got in. Hold on. Oh, he curled. I don't know if he made it over the line. He's not down. I think he got in. They need to review it because he's not down. He's laying on top of another person. There's the whistle there. That should be a touchdown or right at the line to gain. Referee is at the monitor. He's going to reverse this. I can tell you now. Legs are still up. And he's crossed the goal line. It's got to be a touchdown. If he's down, it's on the 1-inch line. That is super close, Angie. Fourth down, ball short of the goal line. I think if you're Indiana, you really need to push this one through here. It's so close. If it was 4th and 2 or 1.5, they left him they didn't give him a very favorable spot, that's for sure. They spotted it back on the 1-yard line, which is not correct, but let's see how this goes. And Hemby's just going to walk into the end zone on 4th down. Touchdown, Hoosiers. There we go. 2-score lead right now. Get this one up to 14. There was a big overload to the left, and they just ran right. I don't like that defense at all. Not that I wanted them to stop them, but you basically just showed your hand. Snap, kick, good. All right, with 4:02 left to go here in the first quarter, Indiana's got a 14-0 lead over UCLA. They have overcome the turnover and come back from it. SEC is absolutely crazy right now. No real other big games going on early this morning. Georgia Tech is tied with Syracuse right now, so that is probably as close as we got. Wait a second here. Did I move that? Hold up. I did move it, didn't I? How did I do that? Hang on, I'll fix that. What did I do here? How did I move that like that? That'll have to do. That's the other. So another thing that's been really spectacular about this team and what makes them so difficult to play against, they have great depth at wide receiver. Their tight ends have very good hands. They've got a great 1-2 punch at running back. I know they lost the third guy to the leg injury, and he is out, which would have made them better. But Black and Hemby have done a great job. They're very stable at quarterback, very few mistakes. Offensive line is big, powerful. They do a nice job. The defensive line's great. There's some really good cover corners, great linebackers, and their special teams are excellent. Radicic, their regular field goal kicker, does a great job. Their long kicker hit the one at halftime, the 58-yarder at Iowa, I believe it was. And then their Brady on punt and kick returns has done a fantastic job. There's so much balance in this team that it's really hard to pick out where they're weak. And they all complement one another very well, which really makes it hard to pick out which players are weak. There's the kickoff. It's going to be fielded at the 4. Runs it back to the 10, 15. He's stopped at the 18-yard line. Great gang tackle there. All right, defense is back on the field. UCLA is not desperate yet, but they really need to get something going here on offense. Two-man backfield. There's the handoff. And he will get about a yard, maybe two. Indiana defense top in sacks, tackle for loss, running yards. There's the jet sweep opportunity, play action, throws it. He has to throw it quicker than he wanted to. The pressure was coming. And Indiana's doing a fantastic job of not letting this young quarterback get settled. If he's going to throw the ball deep, he's going to have to throw it off his back foot because they are not letting him step into anything. Another amazing idea for a tactic. If you're on the defense and you can't get to the quarterback, but you can get in front of him, make him throw off the back foot. Don't let him step into a throw. Get in front of him. There's the play. There, he's sacked again. Way big time loss. Man, he is so strong that he got hit 3 times before he went down. Hardy comes up with the sack there. Hardy and Jones from the linebacker position. Just attack, attack, attack. Quarterback is very nimble. He escaped that first hit and ran right back into Hardy as he had nowhere to go. But my word, it's very reminiscent of how Roethlisberger would just roll off of hits. But the difference is this guy's agile. Punt is away cleanly. It will be hit the ground at, it's going to take a huge roll. Bad call there by Brady. He should have ran up and fair caught that ball, cost him 20 yards. Johnny Small Pepper is in the house. What is up, my brother? Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by on a Saturday. If you have not done so yet, follow us over on Facebook at It's in the Blood. Also, here on YouTube, if you are interested in any type of an energy drink, click the QR code at the top left-hand corner for W Energy. Use code BLOODFAM for 10% off your order. Mendoza's back on the field. He's going to go 3 wide outs. Surratt in motion. There's the handoff. It's going to push forward for about a 3-yard gain straight up the middle. Bring up second down in about 7. Who was the last head coach? Gene Chizik, Urban Meyer, Jim Tressel, Larry Coker, and Bob Stoops. Those are all big-time college football programs to win a title in their first 2 years. I know that we shouldn't be thinking about that. We should be thinking about winning today. Second down, back to pass. Here comes pressure again. They got the middle clogged. He gets it out to the tight end, who's going to be about a yard short of the first down. If it wasn't for a shoestring tackle, it would have went for about 20. That is Nowakowski. I cannot ever get his man. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Small Pepper. I appreciate you, my brother, more than you know. 3rd and 1. There's the handoff. And Kalon Black is going to run through the line, get about 3 or 4, and move the change for Indiana. Should get us close to the end of the first quarter here. Looks like they're going to run at least one more play here. Back to pass, looking down the field. Lets it go to the sideline to Surratt. That's DPI. I was going to say grabbed him. 15-yard penalty on the hold there. He had him by a shoulder pad. Johnny, I appreciate you, my friend. Anybody that wants to hit the share button for this channel, it's absolutely a huge benefit. Back to pass, looking down the field, same side, going again, and that one is broken up, going right back at Jordan on the defensive side, and he makes a nice play on Surratt. Ball was thrown maybe a tad bit high, but you got to give the DB some credit. That shows the strength of the D-back right there to pull down on them arms. It was pretty close, but it was clean. Ball's at the 47, second down and 10. Mendoza's in the gun. There's the handoff. What a forceful run by Hemby to get 3 yards out of that. He was hit behind the line. If I was Indiana, I would just let this clock run to the start of the second quarter. Let's see if they do so. Yes, they will. Pat Coogan, 6'5", 311, transferred out of Notre Dame last year. Was replaced in their line, comes to Indiana through the transfer portal. Them guards in that center have done a great job. When I was speaking to balance on this team, Mendoza started out at 4 for 9, less than 50% with 1 interception, but yet the team still leads 14-0 in their driving. The balance is so – there's so much balance and talent on this team from offense to defense to special teams that it allows for one player not to be on his best game, or if he's struggling a little bit, for them to pick him up to where he can pick it up. Now, Mendoza may come back in this game and throw it out there, get 300 yards, a couple touchdowns. But, you know, with this start being slow like this, some guys just worry about it. But when you got a defense that's clogging up the middle, doing a great job of getting off the field, you have time to recover, and these games are long. So the balance has been amazing. And you could just see the look on Cignetti's face on the punt return. The one penalty cost him about 25, 30 yards on offense. And you're supposed to see a balance out of a top-rated team. This is the type of balance that you see from the Ohio States, the Michigans, the perennial favorites in the Big Ten, along with the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Texas A&Ms, Ole Miss. You know, that's the type of balance you see on these programs. That's what's really exciting about this Indiana team, is that most of these guys were not highly recruited. They were developed. And the coaches that develop players, well, those are the ones that end up winning with whoever they got. These next 2 games after today, at Maryland, at Penn State, if they come out of these 2 games, if they can come out of that, I might start getting a little bit excited. But this Purdue team's found some rejuvenation. Luke Fickell at Wisconsin, he can coach. I mean, I know that's a home game and that's a tough task, but you really got to look one game at a time if you're thinking about making it to the Big Ten championship. But at Maryland, at Penn State are probably going to be the biggest challenges out of this last 5. And next Saturday at 3:30, we should be here for that. Roman Hemby gets to go home to where he spent 3 years. We'll see how that plays out. And they've got a great young core this year as well. So I know Maryland and Penn State's Big Ten records do not show it, but they are quality programs. They just are teams that have lost their way a little bit this year. The talent is definitely there. 3rd down and 7, big play here for Mendoza. Here comes pressure. Looking down the field, has time, lets it go deep, and he overthrows it. But that's going to be a penalty as Surratt is manhandled by number 18, crossing the middle, jumping the route too early, and it's going to be another 15 yards on top of it. He's trying to get through the player to the ball, but he's early. First and 10 at the 29. Handoff going right, cuts back inside. Hemby's going to get close. He does get a first down inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Roman Hemby with about a 16-yard run there. He just keeps them legs moving, holds that ball tight, protection. First and 10 from the 14-yard line. Handoff, Hemby again, cuts left, inside the 10, down to the 6. Workhorse at running back. He's going to come out here for a play, and they're going to come right back with Kalon Black. Running right up the gut. So right where they were trying to put pressure, Indiana's running the ball right at that spot. They were trying to clog the middle. Indiana's running it right at them. And there goes, Mendoza keeps it, gets outside, and reaches out for the first down. It'll be 1st and goal for Indiana. About a 2.5-yard gain right there. Mendoza on the keeper, goes wide left. Looks like he's going to go hurry up here. And I think he's going to force UCLA into a timeout. They did not substitute. They went fast. Michigan tried to substitute to get their big package in, and Mendoza goes to the line of scrimmage and forces them to use a timeout. It's little things like that that help win a game. Three-score lead here in the second quarter would be absolutely huge. You're trying to break a team's will right here. You don't want to give them any hope. Getting the 3 scores is the first thing to breaking a team's hope, whether it be 17 or 21-0. Putting up points here is very important. That's why you may not see the 4th and goal advance, try again. They'll probably take a field goal if they don't get in this time. There's a snap. Checks it to Surratt. He almost pulls it in. Good defense. They're not going to call the PI on the slant route. That's a tough one to call because he let the ball go so early. There's a handoff, and Black runs forward. It's going to be 3rd down and goal. Keep saying Michigan, not UCLA. Have I said? Well, you got me on Michigan, so there's the play action, checks it in. Surratt's going to bring it in for the touchdown. Elijah Surratt. That is another name that you will be seeing in the NFL next year. Just he rifled that in there. Just let it wail. 20-0. Extra points getting ready to roll here. Snap, kick, good. Well, it's 21-0, Skater. Indiana's over UCLA today. And I believe it'll be Indiana at Michigan next year. So there you go. Hopefully both teams will be in the same or up ready to roll at the top of the conference, and then it'll be worth something. What a nice start to today's game. We still got a long way to go here in the second quarter. As long as they get to halftime with a 3-score lead, I'm pretty content. Showing me Dairy Queen commercials, making me want ice cream. Yeah, but if I'm eating it in the car with the heat on, it's okay. Elijah Surratt, 10 TDs, most in FBS this year. Like I said, NFL guy next year. I can pretty tell you about 5. There's going to be at least 5 of them that are going to go sometime during the draft. There's the run back. He's got a hole out to the 25. Good collapse right there to get that down, but there is a flag. Maybe that's why the hole was so big. That one's going to go back. That's right. Ice cream is always good. What's up, Vanessa? Looking forward here as we move on. UCLA hasn't really taken big shots yet. They haven't had the opportunity to. So, they're just trying to find small victories right now to get them back in this game. A couple of first downs, establishing something in the running or the passing game. They're going to look here to establish one or the other. Let's see what it is. Handoff up the middle, goes nowhere. 2-yard loss. Welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for stopping in, too, by the way. Much appreciated. Let's go, Hoosiers. Aiden Fisher took an injury, so that's not a good thing. Back to pass. Here comes pressure. Fires it over the middle, and that is caught basically in the middle of that zone, but he finds an open man to get a first down. That is a very positive play for UCLA because they have been struggling. There you go. Like I said, it is about small steps right now. You can't score 21 points in one play, so you've got to be smart and keep going easy at it. Looking down the field, here comes pressure, checks it down. He hits his check down this time, and this time it's going to be about a 3-yard gain. But unlike earlier in the game where the throws were off target, good call there on calling him Nico, because I've been trying to say his last name a lot. Nico hits his tight end, Habermel, and but he hits him right between the numbers with pressure coming in his face. You've got to find a way to move the ball if you're UCLA. Eat some clock and score some points here. Got a man in motion. There's a snap. Here comes pressure. Fires it up. Goes back to the tight end for another 3 or 4 yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and about 1. Indiana's playing a little soft in that zone right now. They are hanging back a little deep. With Aiden Fisher off the field right now, that takes away some of that defensive presence. I think they're trying to rest that knee up. I don't think they want to put him out there unless they have to. It's going to be 3rd down and 1. They're up. They got it tight to the line. There's the snap. There's the handoff, and that is smoked. Oh, I think he fumbled it. And he did. Lost the ball when he tried to spin free. And it is a turnover for UCLA. Oh, cool. She's listening via Discord through your headset. Man, that's crazy. I can run on Discord too if I really wanted to. I never even thought about. I never really thought about that. Big guy gets the fumble recovery, and then it's Indiana's ball again. They're going to look to run it up one more score here. Well, I appreciate you, Vanessa. Thank you very much for hanging out. And there is another Kamara off the defense is in the tent too. That's Fisher and Kamara that have been hurt in this game. There goes Hemby off the left side. He's going to push forward for about a 4-yard gain. Just strong running off tackle. Second down and 6. Ball's at the 25. There's the handoff again. No, it's a check down. And that gets out to Williams, who breaks a tackle and runs for the first down and more, all the way down to the 13-yard line. E.J. Williams makes the grab, breaks the initial tackle, and turns it into a big gainer. What is up, Rick? Good to see you, my friend. Getting excited for basketball season. Football is still amazing. Let's go, IU. 1st and 10. There's the snap. Handoff up the middle, and Hemby breaks the tackle. He's going to run it to the house. Roman Hemby gets another touchdown today, and the Hoosiers extend. 27-0 with 8:44 here to go in the second quarter. All right, Radicic on, snap, kick, and good. Will they ever play Michigan next year? With the Big Ten expanding to so many teams, it looks like it's every other year. I guess there will be a couple teams that they schedule every single season, like Purdue, but then I think they'll go. So, like next year, they'll play Michigan, and then they may do them 2 years in a row. I'm not sure how that schedule is going to work, but I know Indiana should be on the schedule for Michigan next year. Last year was a great game. And then the only other way that they can meet is if they meet in a bowl game, a college playoff, or a Big Ten title. Haven't really done a lot of looking. Let's see. Michigan's hanging in there at 3-1 in the Big Ten right now, so they're still in play for the title. Wait, is that right? Oh, yeah, they've only lost one conference game at USC. Michigan State, Purdue at Northwestern. The last game of the season, I would probably be down to do the Michigan-Ohio State game at the end of the season, because that is always I love it, because when I do Michigan-Ohio State, everybody comes out of the woodwork that doesn't have a TV or a radio, and they're in here, and it's a lot of fun. But I got to have moderators in here that day, because the last time I did it was rowdy. It's been a few years. But Michigan, Ohio State on the last weekend of the season where they can play spoiler, love it. Listen, I think Ohio State has weaknesses. Because when I look at Ohio State, do not take this the wrong way, because Julian Sayin is uber talented, but he's still a freshman or a redshirt freshman, however you want to look at it. It's still a tough sledding. And when you go up against the teams that perennially put teams in the college football playoff, they're sending, their defensive players are going to the NFL. They're starting in the NFL. It's a different atmosphere than playing Minnesota on a Saturday afternoon. And Minnesota's a good team this year too, but it's usually Minnesota has one or two pros on that team. Michigan is riddled with talent. When Harbaugh was there, they ran that defensive line like a conveyor belt. They just rotated in big guy after big guy and wore you down. Is Ohio State playing today? Today may be their bye week. Yeah, they're on bye this week. They play Penn State next week. See, they play Penn State. They got UCLA and then Rutgers and Michigan. So Ohio State at Michigan is going to be it's going to have implications, and I love it. Because if Michigan can win out and they go into that game with one loss, that could put them in the championship game if they beat Ohio State. I hope so, but man, if Penn State beats them next week, then that makes me feel that much better about my win over Oregon. Because that's who I don't want to play again. I don't want to play Oregon again. It's 1st and 10. He's mad over an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on his team. They did not show the penalty. UCLA's back, and they're starting at the 40. There goes the quarterback. He runs. He's going to break it. There is what I fear is when the quarterback decides that his best option is his legs. With Fisher and Kamara off that defensive line right now, that can mean trouble. Penn State lost their quarterback, and I have a hard time believing that when your pro prospect quarterback goes down that it's going to be easy to win or that they will win against Ohio State. Back to pass, looking. He's got time. Lets it go deep. He's got a man. He's open. And they're going to throw a flag on that. I don't know. It didn't look like he touched him, but he fell down. Let's see what we see here. Right there. I was going to – it was a very touchy type of foul, so they picked that one up. Have no idea. I know Drew Allar was the one that I thought was going to be the one that could win those games, but he got hurt. When he got hurt, that's when they fired their coach. So I'm not positive. I haven't kept up much with Penn State since then. There's the get. He's out to the 39-yard line. Grunkmeyer went 15 for 28 with 2 picks at Iowa. All right, 3rd down and 6. Big play there, almost in field goal range yet again. Indiana's up. Here comes a send 4. Here comes pressure, and it's another sack. Off the defensive end, off their left tackle, gets in there and knocks it down. Tucker gets the sack, and that will force UCLA to punt once again. The problem on that play was that the left tackle, even though he got beat, he gave up. No fake punt this time. Kicks it straight away. Brady's going to call for a fair catch at the 11. 28-0 with 6:37 left to go in the half. Yeah, Grunkmeyer got the start at Iowa last week. They only lost by a point, but he did not play very well. but played well enough to win. They was up 21-13 in the going into the fourth quarter. This Big Ten is it is a log jam at the top right now for sure. After you get by the two teams at 4-0, you've got Oregon, Northwestern, USC, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, UCLA, all at 3-1. And that Illinois, Nebraska, and Washington right behind them, all good teams. I mean, the only team that was even close to Ohio State, and they lost by 18, was Illinois. I noticed the same icon, Skater. I saw the same icon, so I just assumed. Vanessa Vidalia. Defense today, a pick six, 3 sacks, 6 tackle for loss, and a fumble recovery. That's all you got to have right there is D. She's a Clemson fan. Man, tough year for you. A lot of good seasons down there. I love Dabo. First down run for, I didn't see if it looks like Black's going to be about 5 yards. The fact that everybody loves somebody, that's what I like about sports. You definitely have to love passion for a team, man. Loyalty. Second down and 5. Mendoza's back, hands off again. This time it's going to be stopped for a short gain. Hit behind the line of scrimmage, forces forward for another to get a yard. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 4. Very manageable down for Mendoza coming up. 5:50 left to go here in the first half. Surratt goes in motion. There's a snap. Back to pass, looking down the field. Checks it down. What a hit. He hits the running back out of the backfield, and the number 9 Woods lays a smackdown on him. First time, I think, today that UCLA has forced a punt. Just a very aggressive hit on defense. Hiding in plain sight. First punt today for Indiana is a good one. Fielded at the 32. He's going to step through it and get out to about the 37, almost the 38. And UCLA is going to have another opportunity here in the first half. Aiden Fisher is probably out for the day. Kamara is back on the field, thank goodness. I wouldn't put him back on the field unless I had to have him. 1st and 10. There's the handoff. And that's a good run there for about 6 yards. They run so many RPOs that somebody went ahead and just hit the quarterback to make sure that he didn't keep it. That was Berger. 5 minutes to go in the half. UCLA is going hurry up here to try to change a pace to get something going. There's another handoff, and he's going to bust it. He's going to get a first down and get all the way down to the 42-yard line. Berger for UCLA, 2 good runs in a row. All right, play action or looking down the field. Got time, fires it over the middle. And that's caught at the 24-yard line. UCLA moves into field goal range for the first time today. Bad throw, better catch. Ball's at the 25. Nico's back to pass, looking over the middle. Has time, rolls to the right. Here comes pursuit. He's going to try to run it. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up second down in about 5. There is a flag on the play, but I didn't see it thrown during the play. Wow. So it's a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after the play. So they're going to go back 15. He can kick a 61-yard field goal. I ain't worried about that at all. Conventional field goal range. A lot of times they won't let him kick them long ones unless it's at the end of a half. And he's going to get 4 yards on that run back. They're going to get it down to the 30. Right now we're at like 47, so 3rd and 15. I'm really curious to see how he handles this play, if he's going to force the issue or not, or if they're going to play conservative because it's 3rd and so long. I would assume that I'm going for it and take a 7 or an 8-yard gain. Just then I can make the decision. 3rd and 15. Snap, handoff. Yeah, see, he goes conservative, hands it off, and he's only going to get a few yards. I'm assuming they're going to kick. Your secondary played amazing the other night with backups. Makes this a 44-yard attempt. Skater says this guy's leg's good. So I know, but I know the other night you went very deep into your backups. He's the last one on the depth chart, right? Seemed like he was the last one on the depth chart on Monday. Because I remember when he was coming in. You had a couple guys. Third. All I know is that the secondary stepped up in that game for you guys. They played pretty well. Ole Miss pretty much dominating right now. Again, Oklahoma 21-10. Georgia Tech, 7th ranked, still undefeated, 17-3 over Syracuse. Belichick and the boys tied with Virginia at the half, 10-10. South Florida 21-7 over Memphis. And that's really all the big time early games right now. I mean, really, most cornerbacks aren't over 6 foot. The ones that are over 6 foot generally end up being wide receivers. All right. 44-yard attempt at a field goal. Kick is up, and it is pretty dang straight and good. That's why he always gets picked up by somebody, because getting a cornerback with some length on it, usually you got a lot of that 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1". But going against that 6'5" wideout like Metcalf, a 6'2" corner with a little bit of size is kind of nice. Really anxious to see how Indiana will play this 2 minutes, whether they run the drill or they just burn the clock out. All right, 7 on the play clock. Here we go for the kickoff. It's going to be fielded at the 1. Bust through the hole. He's going to go all the way out to the 25 where he stopped there. Indiana's got all 3 timeouts and 149. I'd like to see him run the 2-minute drill here. I'd like to see him take a shot down the field once. I'm a Bengals fan, Bedalia. My daughter is a Chiefs fan. And we do when we can do them together, we do football. That's what this channel was based off of. So 1st and 10, hand off, and they're going to get 5 on the run. Is Fields actually starting tomorrow, Lindsay? Because I'm not sure. I'm trying to trade him off my fantasy team. Hey. Yeah, nobody likes the Chiefs because they win a lot, and the Bengals just never really win. So good run there by Hemby. Gets out all the way close to midfield. There's 1:11 to go. They're going to get the first down chains moved. Ball's at the 44. Mendoza's in the gun. Back to pass. Looking down the field. Fires it, and it's caught and out of bounds from the tight end, Kowalski. That's the best part. We got Vidalia, we got fans, we got Lions fans, we got New England Patriot fans, New York Giant fans, San Francisco 49er fans, Miami Dolphin fans. The contingency around here is very diverse. Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville, offsides, got a free play. Going to take a shot down the sideline. Got a Colts fan. That's true. We got a lot of Colts fans too, because the dynamic from Indiana translates to Indianapolis. Colts are they're on a heater, best run they've been on in a long time. Yeah, but there's no disrespect in here, Bedalia. We all love who we love, but nobody disrespects anybody else. That's the rule, right? You can razz, but you got to be you got to be respectful. There's the handoff. Looks like it's down to 54 seconds. It's about a 3-yard gain. They are in positive territory. Yeah, we try to be as much of a family orientated as we can possibly be. Every now and again a little language slips out, but it's never, and any time that somebody gets out of line, they're out. I mean, plain and simple. And it's hard to do that. JG9, what is up? It's been an atrocious game, except for when you're a longtime Hoosier fan that have never found success at all until the last couple seasons, and we're gonna love it. But Jaguar Gator 9, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I know I've seen your channel before. I've been there. Number 21, Cincinnati Bearcats. Go, Lindsay. Gut Mona 9. Hello with the 499. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Go Hoosiers. Mendoza's back to pass. Fires it over the middle. It's caught by Hemby. Down to the 45, down to the 32-yard line. And that will be another timeout used, I assume. They're going to move the marker. Indiana's got 48 seconds till the half. Everybody say hello to Gutmana 9. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. They're going to add a personal foul on that to the end of this play. Oh, I see it. Number 92. Knocked his helmet off. Coogan's like, hey, bro, you can't do that. .38 seconds to go. Mendoza's back, fires it over the side, gets it out to Kalon Black, who goes out of bounds at the 10-yard line. V-Dub Productions, $2 super chat. Thank you. Here because of the JG9 raid. Anybody in the chat hanging out, stop down and see JG9, Jaguar Gator 9. And he goes out of bounds a little before the 10, but he did step out. Thank you guys for the love. Much appreciated. JG9, check out the channel. Back to pass, looking down the middle, fires it to the end zone, and it's broken up at the last second, but we're going to have a penalty from the back judge. Indiana is 2. Yes, ma'am, Miss Lindsay. We do have a penalty here. Let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be DPI in the end zone. Miggy the Lawn Cutter says, drive safe. 44K fatalities, 2.6 and 2.6 million injuries every year with Rams and cars. Hemby's going to be blown up. That's behind the line of scrimmage. Second down and goal. Timeout taken by Indiana. I can definitely advocate for wearing your seatbelt. Yeah, V-Dub, I'm going to tell you that the energy that this Signetti brought and the swagger that he brought, he came off very arrogant last year and really rumbled some people's feathers. But he was trying to set a tone, for pride and discipline and all the things that you really need to win. Attitude, having the right attitude, and he's brought a winning mentality that this university has never really seen. We have never had a team that competes at this level, and they do it on all phases of the game. Going to Eugene, Oregon and winning a couple weeks ago was the greatest win in this team's history that I can ever remember. As much as I possibly can. Vidalia, I run 2 other channels besides this one. The other channel I'm on Mondays and Thursdays. And then it's not a sports channel, though. And then the other one is just whenever I can. Mendoza rolls out, throws to the end zone, and that is caught by E.J. Williams. It looks like it's a touchdown. 13 seconds left to go, and Indiana's going to put another one on the board. The route is on. UCLA has not been able to muster anything more than a field goal. Yeah, but that team is as well prepared as anybody in the country. And to go out there and win by double digits says a lot for our little minuscule program, right? Fernando Mendoza is a good quarterback. There's a lot of pros on this team, guys that'll be in the NFL. I could probably name off 6 that I think will be drafted. But there's a certain level of methodic discipline that they play with, and that they don't let mistakes get them down. They don't make very many mistakes. It's something very nice to see that you've never seen here, that you expect to see out of teams like Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, the big dogs all the time. And then just to see the type of play that we've had top to bottom has been amazing for me. Oh, they're saying that he didn't have control of this ball. I don't think the ball ever really moved. Yeah, I was going to say the ball never looked like it moved. Yeah, Skater. But that's the thing, bro, is that when it gets to college football playoff time, if Alex is not going to be around for pro games, we will be in here for college games. And I just get excited over good play. When teams play well, I love it. Extra points solid, 35 points in the first half for Indiana today, knocking the wind out of this UCLA sail. If you go back to the beginning of the broadcast, I was worried about because of how much momentum this UCLA team brought with them, how I felt. I'm going to try. We're trying to right now. Just Alex works 2 jobs, and it is a we like to do the NFL stuff together. So it's kind of tough sledding. Well, she works 2 jobs and I work a lot of hours. But yeah, we do pretty well when we can both maintain, but she spent the last couple of years getting her life in order. Not positive, but I will check with her today. We'll see what time she gets off work tomorrow. We both work tomorrow. But let's see what games are on tomorrow, and then we'll talk about it. Since we are rolling in on halftime. Oh my gosh. Green Bay at Pittsburgh would be the game that we'd be able to do tomorrow night. I think that's very doable. Look for the thumbnail. Look for the post at about 4:00 tomorrow. If when I get home from work, but I think we can manage to do the Green Bay Pittsburgh game because I'm looking forward to it. I think she is too. All right, kicks off, squib kick down the middle. Fielded at the 15 by the up back. He's going to try to get to the outside, cut off at the 29, and that is where he will go down. UCLA has 6 seconds to the half. I'm assuming they're going to take a knee. Yeah, she'll be working, I know for sure. And that game lost a little bit of its luster with Jaden Daniels not playing. And that is going to run the clock out. It's halftime here in Bloomington today with the Indiana Hoosiers up 35-3, dominating on all sides of the ball. 1 turnover for Mendoza, but he has made up for that. And now we go to halftime. Let's look around and see what else is going on. What is shaking in the world right now? Yeah, I will. All right, I'm asking now. If she has the time, I'll be down. Shoot, after this one today, I'm going to go watch the Little League Soccer. Skater is very bossy. But, man, it's his thought process. He's got tunnel vision for what he wants. So you got to give him credit. Missouri at Vanderbilt this afternoon looks like a good game. Illinois at Washington, good game. BYU is going to lose at Iowa State today. Got that feeling. UC 6-1 at home against Baylor on ESPN2. Nice. Texas A&M at LSU at 7:30 ought to be a game. Will the Hoosiers score 63? I don't think so, JB. But I could be wrong. Tennessee at Kentucky. Michigan is at Michigan State tonight. Houston at Arizona State. Looks like that's setting up to be a good one. Yeah, Michigan State's been down for a few years, for sure. Is that the it's Rod Moore? Is that the defensive end? Or Sharon? Isn't the coach Sharon? Safety that tore his ACL last year. I got you. Indiana's D is down 3 starters, yes, sir, and only gave up 3. That is correct. You still at the airport, JB? There is not a lot going on early today. You got an hour and 30 minutes until your flight. Yeah, it's good to see you, brother. What is that, Mr. Kingery? How are you, good sir? I think the guy's name that I'm thinking about is Derek Moore. He's the edge rusher for Michigan, I believe. Isn't that right? I'm sure his name. He wears a single-digit number. I mean, I don't know who's better than who on. If that Michigan D line is anything like it's been in years past, it's a revolving door of players coming in and out to keep them fresh. I would assume that they're doing the same way. And the coach's name is Sharon Moore, right? Derek Moore is 8. I thought so. Listen, it's pretty dang tough because I keep up with a lot of players and teams and go through a lot of statistics. But I just know that I know that that Derek Moore he leads your team in something. And I don't know if it was tackles for loss or sacks, but I thought he was the main guy on that D line. Jay Jay Sean Banham. I don't know his name. That's weird. Jay Sean Banham. Michigan roster. Banham. Wow, you guys got a lot of D line players. There he is. 24 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. All looks good. Moore leads Michigan in sacks. Well, if you got Michigan gets a lot out of people out of Maryland too, don't they? And when I start, it's so once we get through second or third week of December, I start breaking down for draft ratings and stuff like that. And that's when it all shows up. Last year? You sure? I don't think he left in an ambulance, but are you talking about Curtis Rourke or are you talking about the year before that? Because I know Curtis Rourke played last year with a torn ACL. Trying to remember. No, he got hurt against Nebraska. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out who that would have been. Uh, he's the hardest hitter. Yeah, I was trying to figure out which QB you were talking about. I can't even remember who played quarterback the year before. That's hilarious. Taven Jackson and Taven and Brendan Sorsby. Sorsby's the kid that's QBing right now for Cincinnati. Man, it's so hard to keep up with. Whoa, kickoff. Oh, these kickoff for the big noon Saturday games, these talk shows starting at 10 a.m. are horrible. Tom, I'm doing great. Work's finally starting to chill out a little bit for me. If I get it to chill out for Alex a little bit more, we'll be in here more often. Well, I hope your boys went out, Skater. Last year, that Indiana Michigan game was tight. I like good football games. Favored by 20 tonight on the road. Yeah, I was just kind of thumbing through a little bit here, just checking out some of the stuff that I was thinking about today, and I have a eking suspicion that this professional sports rigging, the NBA might just be the beginning of it. Not sure how that's all going to play out, but man, that's the fact that people are effectively fixing games is crazy to me. Chauncey Billups, I always liked him as a player, but man, that's horrible, man. That's some Pete Rose kind of stuff right there. But he never tried to fix the game. He just bet on his team. All right, we're getting ready to start here for the third quarter. All right, there's that's not it. If anybody gets an opportunity, please stop by the It's in the Blood Facebook page. Smash the like button on this stream. Definitely follow us and going forward as we're cruising along. We don't even really post a lot over there, but we're up over 300 some followers there already. 317, pretty solid. Leave a like, leave a comment. Is ending gaming streams. As long as you don't steal content, they leave me alone. They challenged me last year. They said I stole intellectual content, but I won that one. All right, it's going to be 1st and 10, balls at the 25, handoff. There goes Roman Hemby for 4. Ouch. Hey, I didn't invite you. I didn't invite you. Second down and 7. They gave him credit for 3 on that. Going back to the run to the outside. He's going to cut back inside, and he's going to get another 2. Looks like it's going to be about a 3rd down and 5. Kitty has decided to venture in. This is Ash. This is Alex's first cat. He lives with me in my basement. 3rd and 5 for Mendoza and the Hoosiers. Ball is at the 30. Back to pass, looking down the field. Has time, steps up in the pocket, fires it, caught over top of the official. Kowalski runs over the umpire to get the first down. Umpire gets credit for the tackle. And the umpire tackles the tight end, and he comes off the field with an injury. Tell me that ain't crazy. All right, it is 1st and 10, though. Ball is out to the 36. Clock still running. 13:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter. There is the handoff, but it's a fake, and Mendoza on the RPO keeps it for 3. Second down and 7. Mendoza brings his offense back up, calls play, getting ready to roll it. Mendoza's 11 for 18, 101 and 2 touchdowns with 1 pick today. Snap, play action, hits his receiver on the out, and he is going to get about forward progress is going to give him 3 yards. UCLA's defense has been very tight starting the second half. Looked like they've made some adjustments to the quick pass, and it looks like it's paying off as they're getting Indiana into 3rd downs. All you need to do is get a stop. Back to pass, looks down the field, fires it, caught. And it's short of the first down, I do believe. That is Omar Cooper, and I think he's going to be short. Great tackle by number 4 from UCLA. Looks like Indiana's going to go for this one. 4th down and less than a yard. Indiana's going to use a timeout here. I don't know if they're going to go for it or not. I wonder how much money's been invested in this UCLA team in NIL in comparison. I know this Indiana group's Ohio State runs around 12. I know we were running around 4. Fourth and 1. And he's going to bust through. He's broke it. He's at the 40, down to the 35, all the way down inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Kaylon Black with a burst of speed barrels through the line and gets the first down plus about 20 more. Just attacks that gap and gets and breaks through into the second line of defense and is gone. Gets about 3 on first down there. My sports center is going off. I don't know what that was about. Nothing I care about. There's the pitch to the outside. Hemby's going to get a few. Looks like he's going to get between 2 and 3 on that carry. It's going to bring up another third down here for Indiana. Appreciate the like over on the Facebook side today, by the way, folks. Third down and 4. Yo, what up? Yes, sir. Playing very well. Mendoza rolls out. He's going to have to fight for it. Gets the first down and more. He's inside the 10, the 5. He's going to run it in for a touchdown, Indiana. Fernando Mendoza gets the run on third down and 4 for 6. But guess what? Penalty flag has been thrown. Let's see what the call is. Defensive holding. It's going to be declined. Fernando runs one in for a tutty. 20-yard run. So it's an RPO, and every option look covered, so he just takes off. Kicks up, and it's good. JB is pushing for 63. I don't know that they're going to get 21 more today, but we'll see. Oh, snap. Wrong one. Can't do that. I get my which screens I can click on. So 5 Mile. Monday's video. Yeah, no doubt. So Monday's video, it's got a nice giveaway attached. I'm hoping it pushes some nice viewership. CKG hooked me up. So it'll be a good one. And I'm out making a test video, and I find something really nice, too. So that was cool. Excited about Monday. Last week's video got over 1,000, so I'm pretty fired up about that. At least I think so. Let me check. How's the future Raider Mendoza doing? Makes very few mistakes. I think that will make Raider fans happy, Papa Pancho. And to Papa Pancho in the house, ¿Cómo estás? As long, you know what? Pancho, Mendoza from Miami. What do you think the odds are that he ends up back in Miami? If I was him, I'd come back for my senior year. Yeah, it almost hit 1,000 in a few days. It's been a really good one though. All right, kickoff is going away right now. Blast it. And it's going to be fielded. No, it's not. Out of the back of the end zone. Quarterbacked at Cal for his first couple of years, and he's thrived in this system. But Mendoza, South Florida kid, man, I can't. Do you think? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why you think he's a future Raider. Bro, great question, Kay. Watch, hang on. If the feds charge you while being a head coach, do you go back to coaching or do you lawyer up? I don't think you coach again, honestly. The integrity level's gone. How can you be let coach? How can your I mean, I know you're innocent until proven guilty, but you would think your organization would suspend you pending investigation or trial and say it's just what it is. But I don't know, bro. And yes, who hires you after that? I mean, does the Gambino family own any professional franchises? Yeah, I don't know, dude. Chauncey Billups. I mean, I loved him as a player. I think I think this I think this I think this is going to run back to MLB and the NFL at some point. I just feel like I just feel like that if they've been investigating this and they've got this kind of information, then there's got to be more. And then wait till then people start snitching on one another. That doesn't mean it's a good offer either. How do you like my big shark, John? It's for solo days when there's no Alex. All right, UCLA starts this drive at the 25-yard line. First and 10, 9:15 to go in the third. Back to pass. Looking down the field, it's going to let it rip. Up the middle, caught, first down. 11-yard gain, nice throw. I feel like the Jays were feasting on Dodger leftovers. Back to pass, looking down the field, lets it rip again, tipped. Almost intercepted. Jones got his hand on the ball as he fell back into coverage from that middle linebacker position. General's birthday. Miss Coach Bobby Knight more than you will ever know. I'm with you, John. Let's go, Blue Jays. Back to pass, looking down the field. Got time, hits his check down. It's going to be about a 4-yard gain. Nice play. Nico went through his progressions, didn't have anything down the field. Takes the check down like he's supposed to right there. It's going to be 3rd and 6, though. Back to pass. Look, here comes some pressure. He fires it. It's caught. No, it's dropped. Nice hit by the safety coming across the middle with the tight end. Knocks the ball free and forces UCLA to punt once again. Let's go, Hoosiers. Wait a minute. The Indiana brought back the bison or whatever it was as a mascot. Can we have Hank, the guy from B Dubs? Can he be can he be our mascot? Caught at the 13, brings it out to 20, 23, 24, 25. Mr. Blue Jay is on my shoulder. Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly how it's going to play out, Poncho. Dodgers in 7. Watching this commercial, have you ever noticed that Baker Mayfield looks like he could be Adam Sandler's brother? Well, right now, I mean, if you want to look at the short list of who's on it at this moment, it's either Baker, Daniel Jones, and now Patrick Mahomes. Can't think of anybody else that's playing any better. Baker has just done more with the game on the line than anybody I've seen in a long time. First and 10 at the 26. There's the handoff, and they go too deep into their bench at running back. That is number 28. Kobe Martin there. Going to get the ball again. Going to run forward. He bounces off, but he does get no gain. It's going to stay at 2nd down and 4. Mickey tells you all to drive safe. Listen up. Looks like they got about 190, 200 yards as the team rushing today. Nice work. 3rd down and 4. Mendoza's in the gun. There's the snap. Back to pass. Looking. Fires. No, he keeps it and runs over the middle. Dives for the 1st down. Fernando Mendoza adds to his rushing total. Gets about 8 on the carry. That gets him close to 50 for the day. Nobody wanted Darnold, but he's playing lights out. I mean, I think Seattle really wanted him, but I'm just surprised that Pete Carroll took Geno. Checks it down, caught, and he's going to lose a yard on the play. I mean, if you want to be honest about it right now, okay, Mike McDonald is exactly what's wrong with Baltimore. He's not there. Second down 11. 5:11 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Mendoza in the gun, 3 to the right. Handoff, pushes forward, and he's going to get about 3 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8. Back to pass. Looks. Here's the snap. Going forward. Got plenty of time. Rolls out. Steps up. Lets it go deep down the field. Wide open is E.J. Williams for a touchdown. Indiana scores on the broken coverage. Mendoza rolls out. Hits Williams for the big play. All he had to do was get it up there and float it. Let's see what happened on the coverage here. Williams stops, runs the curl. Then he scrambles. His defender falls down, and he is wide open. Nobody there. The safety's in the middle of the field. Easy touchdown. All right. Snap, kick, Radicic, good. When Mendoza got outside the pocket there, Williams just ran to a spot where nobody was. While we're on a commercial here, I'm going to sneak up and get me a quick beverage. I shall return. Let's see. Georgia Tech has broken it open against Syracuse today. They look like they will remain undefeated as they're about ready to go up. They're up 34-10. Oklahoma's making it a game against Mississippi. Down 5 with the ball at the 50-yard line. Gosh, UVA and North Carolina still tied up at 10 apiece. Big Bill trying to get his first biggest win at North Carolina. South Florida is over Memphis by 7, but they've got the ball. Everything else starts later today. Let's see. Can you believe we're already in week number 9? Oh my gosh. Kick is a line drive into the end zone. Touchback. Back to pass, looking, fires it over the middle, caught, backs it in for an 8-yard gain, goes down at the 33-yard line. Back to pass, going fast, fires it deep down the right side, he's got a man, reaches out, incomplete. Just overthrew Matthews out there, covered pretty well. Third down and 2. Gonna hand it off. It's gonna get close, but he's gonna be stopped short of the first down. It will be 4th down. They're at their own 34. I can't imagine that they're gonna go for this, but they may. They are gonna go for it. They keep going like this. If they don't get it, it's gonna put Indiana in that 63-point mark, JB. Fourth down and 1. Everybody at Memorial Stadium's on their feet, cheering loudly. Back, there's the snap, looking to throw the ball, getting ready. He's going to be, he rolls out of the sack. He's going to run, and now he's going to get hit. He lets it. Unbelievable throw by Nico. As he is wrapped up, he lets it go downfield and gets the first down. As he's getting ready to take a big hit, avoided the sack several times here. 1, 2 tackles broken, goes. The third guy comes to grab him, and he just gets it out of his hands, and he hits his receiver downfield. Probably the most exciting play of the day for UCLA. Fires, it's tipped in the air, incomplete. Back to pass, looking down the field. It's going to be flushed out of the pocket again. He's going to escape again. Take a shot. Oh, he breaks a tackle too. Oh, he's breaking tackles everywhere. Gets it all the way down to the 29-yard line. Nico's using his legs. This game went exactly how it was written up on paper. I was content not being here today. However, I felt that I really liked the energy that this UCLA team has put out the last couple of weeks. Thought it'd be an interesting day. I'm impressed with Nico's tackle breaking capabilities. He's been dead to rights several times today and gotten away. Looking down the field, has time, lets it go deep over the right side. Oh, that's going to be a DPI, I think. Incomplete, and that'll be a 15-yard tack on. 2 flags came in. No. They've got an interim head coach and interim play callers, and they're doing pretty dang good. They came out with a pretty nice gameplay today. I don't know. I don't know about the DPI. Yeah, they had a pretty nice game plan coming in, and they played fairly well for a little while in the first quarter, but it's just really better on all phases right now. And I'm surprised to say that. I've never said that about Indiana football in my life. First down runs, going to get about 3, knocked down at, I think, the 11. Yep. Mr. I believe you should have stayed. Yeah. I think it's important here to see what they do in this red zone attempt here. 2nd down and 7. Back to pass. Fires it. Knocked out of the air. Boykin gets his hand on the ball. Can't quite reel it in. Brings up a long 3rd down. All right, it's another huge play here. It just trying for your defense to keep them out of the end zone today. 3rd down and 7. Back to pass, looking down the field. He rolls out. He's going to try to scramble. This time he's corralled, throws it, incomplete. 4th down and 7, and I think you're going to see him go here. I don't think they're going to kick. One thing has nothing to do with the other, Kay. That's for dang sure. I think having probably the best running back right now in the NFL, top to bottom, is probably the most important thing for the Colts. Takes a lot of pressure off Daniel Jones. Field goals up and good. Takes pressure off of Daniel Jones, and he can be Daniel Jones. I mean, I think that's the biggest part of it. Teams that can actually run the ball well are the ones that are ranking really high now. I think the Lions. You ain't taking DJ Turner. You can have Cam Taylor Britt. They'll probably trade him right now. We're having that issue on the, especially on the defensive side, where guys don't want to, where guys have been handed things and don't like having them taken away. So they're just going to go with youth that will buy in as opposed to arrogant guys. Nah, I don't think he's going back to Detroit. It's a good cornerback, though. Greetings, Puppet. How are you doing, my brother? It is going to be 1st and 10. Ball's at the 25. Mendoza's in the gun. Play action. He's going to keep it. Oh, wait a minute. I think it's the younger Mendoza now in the game. Yes, it is. It is Alberto. I don't think the dude actually said that, to be honest. Somebody may have said it for him. I know it's your birthday tomorrow. Happy early birthday, Puppet. Hope you have a great weekend. Angie, thank you so much for your time today. Much love. Go Hoosiers. Wishing your Colts the best this weekend if they play. What you doing for your birthday, Puppet? You know. Susie Jenner watching some horror movies, probably. That's probably about right. Sounds like a good day to me, dude. What's on the agenda for horror movies, man? It's a very broad category. Looks like Oklahoma passed up Ole Miss and is up by a point with 12:15 to go. North Carolina's got the ball with 4 minutes left, tied at 10 with UVA. Could be the biggest win of Belichick's college coaching career. South Florida's 31-17 over Memphis. That one looks like it's in hand at the moment. Memphis does have the ball down 14. Today in this game, Mendoza 15 for 22, 3 tutties and 1 pick. Roman Hemby 81 yards on 17 carries, 2 touchdowns. And EJ Williams 109 yards and 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Pretty solid effort thus far. 13 Ghost. Ooh. Maybe the Puppet Master. Maybe Hellraiser 2. Maybe The Witch 2015. Maybe something else. All good choices, sir. All right, young Alberto is in at quarterback. Alberto Mendoza. Going to go play action, looking down the field. Going to let one go. Broken up in the middle of that zone. Looking at number 6, but Jordan broke that up. He's played pretty well at corner today. Yeah, we're trying to be in here for that. Back to pass, looking down the field. It's going to let it go deep. What a grab by the tight end. They're going to call PI on this. I don't know if it's offense or defensive. It looked like they were going at it pretty good. So it's a back shoulder throw. They're going to get the defense off the PI. First down on the throw. Alberto airing one out. All right. 1st and 10. Ball's out at the 48. Alberto is in the gun. Going to hand off. There he goes forward. It's going to rush in for 3 and get knocked back. Yeah, I hope it's a good game. I don't even know what I want to see. I think I just want to see Pittsburgh lose. Second down, 7. Alberto's in the gun. Back to pass. Looking. Hits his check down. Breaks out. That's going to be a first down and more. He's going to get inside the 40 down to the 35-yard line. Man hates A-Rod so much. I mean, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I never have. I don't like his narcissism. He's a good quarterback. He's got a cannon for an arm. I just don't like him. Check down to Brady, who's in the backfield now. The punt returner. He's going to get 5. I don't think about him that much, right? I just hated the way he acted when he was in Green Bay. I know that everybody in Pittsburgh loves him, though. Back to pass, looking, got time, fires it deep, got a man. Back shoulder throw, incomplete. Well, and I do believe him when he says that when he quits football, you'll never see him again. I kind of buy that. He'll probably just go into the woods and do his ayahuasca and be alone. 3rd and 5. Snap it. Back to pass, looking. Rolls out. There goes Alberto. He's going to take off. He's inside the 10. He's going to run it down at the 3-yard line. Quarterback runs today have been huge. Fernando's cheering his younger brother on, smiling ear to ear. They're going to mark him down at the 4, which I think is garbage, but okay. Hand off to Kalon Black. Or that would be Brady. I can't tell. Yeah, he was down at the 3. To be fair, he had a point of not having elite receivers or defenses for 98% of his career. I mean, that's two. Alberto's going to run it in. Mendoza's going to get a rushing touchdown, and he is pumped. On the RPO, fakes the handoff and runs it in. Nope. Because I saw the play. We were in here that night. He is not hurt. He didn't act hurt. He wanted time off. Something way more sinister going on in Baltimore. All right, snap is there. Extra point kick. Radicic is good. 56-6. I don't think Lamar had a hamstring injury. That's for sure. Yeah, I felt bad for Tyreek getting hurt, but the Dolphins, I've never been a Tua fan at all. I put a note out in my fantasy today. My backup quarterback, I got 2 of them. I got Nix and Justin Fields. So I put Justin Fields on the auction block today because I'm sick of quarterbacks that can run that don't even run well or pass well. They just kind of fail. So he's gone. Looking to trade some tight ends. I will say that my favorite tight end on my roster is Tucker Kraft. Yeah, Tyreek Hill at the Rams with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams would be a pretty sweet wide receiving core. I'm not gonna lie. Minus the age of the 2 older ones, but with Puka out, Devontae had an amazing game. Yeah, I've got a lot of tight ends in my fantasy that I can trade away right now if I wanted to. That's why I was trying to trade Justin Fields and a tight end for a middle of the road wide receiver 2 or running back 2. He still moves good for 32. Very precise in his route running. That's why he's so good. There's a snap, handoff, and that's going to be blown up at the line of scrimmage. Fires it over the middle, picked off. Jumps in front of it. Boykin with the pick has been all over the ball today. Sooner or later, I knew he was going to hack one. Aging is definitely weird, Puppet. I just pretend like I'm not. I pretend like I'm 15 forever, dude. Man, make it 20. Handoff, cuts inside. Second down 9, balls at the 36. Checks it out to his wide out on the edge. Completion. We're all into these second and third stringers that I don't know their names. Wasserstorm. Don't know who he was, but he made the catch. Mainly because I'm better than all of them. My career stunted because shitty living situations and coaches picking their kids and friends for the team. Yeah. Third down and 5. Big play for Alberto here. Let's see what he can do. Back to pass. Steps up, takes off and runs it. Gonna get the first down and more. Rolls out of bounds. Alberto uses his legs to extend this drive with 8:59 to go. And JB, if you're still in the chat, JB, your 63 is coming. One more score. Yeah, and don't forget, everybody that's still in here, if you haven't done so yet, swing over to the Facebook side for our page and give it a like. Like and follow the channel over there. I definitely appreciate it. I think Puppet already does, but anybody else in the chat, swing by over there. Leave a comment. Humble brag. Second down 7, handoff, and that's going to bust it to the outside. He's going to be close to the first down. He stumbled going off the tackle, and he's going to fall down just a few yards short. Fernando and Elsa Mendoza. Them kids look just like their parents. Oh my God. Third down and 2. Handoff. He's going to rush it. He's going to push forward, and he looks like he's got the first down and then some. As the pile moves along to the right, that's going to burn another couple minutes off the clock here. First down, Indiana. They do. You can get an open tryout. There's a handoff. 3 yards on first down. Second down and 8. Ball is at the 11. Handoff. Runs through the hole. He's going to get close. Down at the 2-yard line. First and goal, Indiana. But there is a flag. His name is Van Horse. Formation penalty on Indiana. They'll bring that one back. Knocks it back to a 2nd and 13. Ball's at the 16. 6 on the play clock. Mendoza changes the play. There's the snap. Handoff. 2-yard gain. 3rd and 11. Hmm. Third and 11. Ball's at the 14. Mendoza back to pass. Lets it go. Picked at the 2-yard line. And if anybody was in here talking about what I was saying earlier about letting these quarterbacks, especially the younger ones, forcing them to throw off their back foot as opposed to letting them step into throws. He threw off his back foot there and the ball floated. And that's how it was picked off. It didn't have the velocity behind it because the defense had crowded the middle and was in front of him. Well, what sport are you talking about? Basketball? Trying to keep it interesting till the end of the time, man. If you want to try out, go try out for the G League. Go on, Puppet. Go try out for the G League. There you go. When all them players go up to the NBA, they have their open tryouts. You can go in there, you can get on a team, you'll be in the big leagues before you know it. I think Alex just set up a commit for tomorrow night's game. So she says, go, Pat, go. Handoff up the middle, 4-yard gain for UCLA. That's right. Tell him by day, a company car and an apartment. You be set. Listen, if I could just avoid doing 45 to 60 hours a week, I would do anything to be able to do this all the time. Almost anything. Let me be careful about what I say. But Vidalia, Alex did say yay for tomorrow night. So I will start getting it set up here this afternoon. So tomorrow night, Sunday Night Football. Handoff, first down. Breaks the tackle. Another first down for UCLA is a cross midfield, second best drive they've had all day. Puppet, I'm sick of working. I would love to be able to do this full time. It's just not as easy as think. He does everything. Check down, got it on the right. He breaks the tackle. He's inside the 40, down to the 39. That should get us close to the 2-minute warning here. You're saving lives, Puppet. What are you doing as a job right now, Puppet? Got it. Are you back to work now or are you still off? Because I knew you were off last time I talked to you about, or at least for a little while. Got it. All right, we are down to the 2-minute warning. Getting ready to come back out here for the last stretch of this game. Ball is at the 39, 2nd down and 5 for UCLA. UCLA Bruins have dates with Nebraska, Ohio State, Washington, and at USC. All tough games coming forward. Dylan Raiola at Nebraska will be a tough sell. Washington and US on the road at USC will be a tough one too. See how they play out the rest of their year. Second and 5. Yeah, Puppet, you deserve 50. Handoff, nowhere to go. Loses 2 yards. And Nico, I'm going to leave you, is not had a very good game. But he did get over 100 yards finally. Third and 6. In the gun, big play here. False start. Favorite college football team outside of the Hoosiers? Bro, growing up, I was always a Bobby Bowden fan. I always been a Florida State fan. Only one other college university did I ever wear any of their gear from. Gators are not cool. Seminoles, man, they're Seminoles. Florida's the Gators. I believe so. Let's see. Yep, Clemson and Tulane. That was a different generation of coaches, though, Vidalia. Like I said, I loved Bobby Bowden. He coached until he could hardly walk. But truthfully, what it boils down to is having the right quarterback. I mean, Dabo with Trevor Lawrence looked like an unstoppable coach, but not having the right quarterback in college is pretty much everything, I guess. I say that's pretty much everything everywhere. You got to have the right guy. So recognizing the proper talent at the QB position for college is just as important as it is in the NFL. Yep. Back to pass looking. He's going to get his check down. 3rd and 11, and he is going to get blown up after a 4-yard gain. I believe they're going to have no choice but to go here on 4th down. That is why he took the check down. All right, here it is. 4th and 6 for the game to end the game. Back to Pat, or here's the snap. Back to pass, looking down the field. Pressure's coming. Oh, that's a face mask. They didn't call it, though, and he overthrows it. There should be a penalty on that for grabbing the face mask. They call him Iamalava. I'm going to leave you. And Alberto will take a knee. That will end the ball game today with your final score being Indiana getting the dub at home today, 56-6. Just 7 points off of JB's wish list from earlier. Going through the stat sheet today, Fernando Mendoza went 15 for 22, 3 TDs, 1 interception, 168 yards. Roman Hemby, 81 yards on the ground. EJ Williams, he had 2 touchdowns. EJ Williams, 109 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tucker ended up with 1.5 sacks. And linebacker Jones ended up with 8 tackles. There were a few injuries today for Indiana, and they did turn the ball over twice today. That is not a very normal thing for them. They did have 27 first downs, only 4 penalties, and their time of possession was 35 minutes. Kudos. Puppet, good night, bro. See you tomorrow, maybe. Stop in and watch during the Steelers and the Pack. I'm in here because it's my team. That's why I'm here. You know that. But for you and Vidalia, JB, who was in here earlier, Miss Angie, Skater Boy, Kay, Grange, I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for stopping by. Even Miggy the Lawn Cutter, Two Papa Poncho, John Jensen, all of you, thank you for stopping in. Where's the Raider boys at? Hold on. Tom Kingery was in here earlier. Crafty Southpaw, Angie Burnett. Somebody else I missed. Johnny Small Pepper, Ringo and Czar. Thank you. George Ann, thank you. I can't find the J9 Raider guys. I can't find them, but I wanted to thank them again too. But that being said, today was excellent. Got the dub. It's early. Now it's time to go watch a soccer game. If you guys want to check out later, I'll probably be back gaming tonight at Purple Bloods Gaming. Come in and see me there. Hang out. Probably play something. Much love to you all. See you on the next one.